here at the Volo Auto Museum in Volo, Illinois. Very nice place. It has a dinosaur exhibit here, which I'm not going into. I've been in there about 3 times. And it has some other stuff like some antique shops here, which I probably will be going into later. There it's got an auto showroom, which you have to, it's part of your ticket, you have to pay to get in there, but it has some nice stuff in there. Cars you can buy and everything. But yeah, here will be a tour. And by the entrance here, walking down here on the right here, they have a kids playland here. They have some other stuff. I guess old Volo horse-drawn cart. This place is not just about cars. Just want to point out there's plenty of other nice old stuff here. Jute boxes and some old boats and a train last time I was here. So if you're in the area, it's definitely worth a look at. I've been here about 5 times in the last 6 years, and every time I go here, there's something different. Like this car right here, this was not here last time. So anyway, I'm gonna buy a ticket and give you a tour. All right, just before I bought tickets, they had some interesting Batman stuff here. So one of the cars used in the 1989 film with Michael Keaton. Here's another view of the car, the 1989 movie. Okay, I bought my ticket here, and here is the area in here. There's a roll car machine from Big. They got shirts and everything and places you can eat. There's also an area there where they have some animatronics. Kind of reminds me of Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz Pizza. Anyway, they got some pretty good pizza here. It's actually from Showbiz, or at least modeled after it. If you remember that, it's not around anymore. Merged with Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, here the tour starts. They've got some old motor boats here, I guess. Stuff from a long time ago. And you can see out there they have the Titanic exhibit, which we'll be going in later. There's a famous song from Titanic. They played it all the time in 1997 and 1998. Like I said, we'll be going in there later, checking it out. Here is what many people come here to see. There's a vast array of cars here, mostly American, all very nice looking. Every time I come here, there's something new, especially like this Cadillac up here. Not sure what year it is, but it's a great one. There's a pink Cadillac here on the right. Nice red car here. And then this one coming up with the hood open. I know that's a 57 Chevy. You'll see the price here pretty soon. Yeah, you gotta shell out some money for that one. And look at this one here. It's kind of like a Joker-mobile. I guess that color was popular. It's a nice car. Just the color is just a little different to me. Something out of Batman. And then this, the two-tone car. This is probably from the 50s. Convertible, very nice. Nice one right here. It amazes me, all these cars that we had in the past, that nothing can look this nice today, no matter what car company it is. Wide variety of colors and everything like that. This blue one here is pretty cool. Look at that engine. I was noticing that some of these cars were well over $100,000 for people to buy them. I guess they're classic cars. There's a nice old Army Jeep, general purpose vehicle. I don't know what color that is. It looks like a Mustang. And there's the price. Any enthusiast would like that one. I saw on the sign outside it said there's over 225 cars here that are available to be purchased. Some of these here in this room are able to be purchased, and there's another room that you'll see later which has these. Ah, a Duesenberg. Two of them, actually. You can tell by those, I guess, pipes. Very unique. Ah, 82 Duesenberg. I don't know about that. Anyway, $500,000. I read one time that one of these cars back in the day, whatever the price was, what you saw it as, it was probably close to about $1 million today, just for a car. It really showed status, just like in The Great Gatsby. I'm no car aficionado, so I don't know all the names of these cars, but I do like all of them. Lime green, I guess this color is. Look at that. AMX. Was that American Motor Company? The one that I guess went out of business in the 70s, I believe. Chevy. I can see why people like these cars even back then. I guess they were toys, I guess, and they probably weren't that expensive, at least compared to the way cars are nowadays. And I guess these cars look all very nice because they're also all made up and very shiny too. Nice blue one there. Yeah, so if you're definitely planning to come here to check out the cars, there's one more area like this, and then there's also some movie cars, which you will see later. Not sure what kind of car this is. Don't really like the color. It's kind of like a Band-Aid. Multicolored again, blue and white. Let's say $175,000. Crazy. And this blue one. If I was a car collector, I would definitely get some of these. I heard Jay Leno has maybe like 100 different cars in a garage in an undisclosed location. Yeah, you wouldn't want anybody to go in there and take some of them, so that's why it's undisclosed. Pink Cadillac again. Always the classic. Although I really wouldn't want a pink Cadillac, but I don't know what other colors they made for it that year. Now I'm going to go towards the jukeboxes. Here are the Wurlitzers, or at least some of them are. Old jukeboxes. Something you don't really see anymore unless somebody wants to make something vintage to sell at a place for decoration. Obviously no need for them. They have digital ones. Oh, Coke machine over there. Don't know why it's over here. And a car that is a jukebox. Seems like a waste of space. And then here's some 50s style ones. Like in Happy Days. There's actually a picture of the Fonz right here. Right there. Never really was interested in that show. But he's famous. Okay, now we're in the car section from movies and TV shows. Here's one from, I guess it says at the Indy 500, Mario, or Michael Andretti rather. And here's a Terminator 2 hearse. 1989 Cadillac with bullet holes included. Here's some other cars here. Dodge Polara, $84,000. Boy, they really know how to make cars back then. Beverly Hillbillies here. Ah, the Blues Brother car. Supposed to be bought in Mount Prospect, Illinois. I used to live right by that area. Here's the, I think they call it the Paddy Wagon. That's what they called it from the Ninja Turtles. Ghostbusters. Here's a look at a few more of the other cars. Camaro 69, 95,000. Yellow car is a Dodge one. I'm not sure which one it is. Here's a Dodge Dart, 1969. I've heard of these things. They actually remade these again, but look nothing like this. Nice interior seats. Fast and the Furious. I can tell you I've never seen one of those movies and don't really care, but I like the car. Fast Five one. 72 Pontiac Firebird.
This franchise, especially, you to play every day. 10 years later, I'm still doing stuff.
All right. Another one from Fate of the Furious. Can't say that's a good looking car because it's not. I know it's for the movie and stuff, and it's supposed to have special stuff, but it's kind of ridiculous. And this one with a parachute. Here's a Blazer. 87 Blazer Silverado. Wow, $110,000. Chevelle, 67. All right, how was it? The Land Speeder. That's right. Remember we had this toy when we were kids. Speed Racer. That was a flop of a movie, but the TV show was popular. Challenger, 1970. James Bond, Aston Martin, Vanquish, 2001, with, I guess, guns included. Bumblebee. 77 Camaro. Gone in 60 Seconds, the remake. Shelby Mustang GT 500. And this interesting one here. 55 Chevy Bel Air, $90,000. Of course, here's Road Warrior, the second Mad Max movie. This one is a 1975 Ford Interceptor, built in Australia. Few more cars. Here is a 65 Chevy C10 short bed. Interesting wheels there. Here's that Dodge yellow car again. There's a Challenger Rally, I guess it's called. Anyway, if you're ever out here in Illinois near Chicago, this is definitely worth going to, especially if you love cars. See some snowmobiles here. Never ridden on one, so I don't know much about them. But still interesting to see. And I look here, I guess you had to register your snowmobile. 1977. Here's another snowmobile, the Sea-Doo. I like how they have it in basically the tropics. Snow Machine Museums. I don't remember this the last time, so check it out and I'll see some new stuff. Yeah, here's some different kinds of, I guess, snow machines. 62 Polaris, Snow Traveler, 63 Polaris right there. It's 1960 Autobogan. Arctic Cat, 500. Bombardier, never heard of that. And then this one here at the top here, they see it crossed Alaska in 1964. 1,200-mile journey in 18 days. All in that. That must have been a trek. Then there is this. The rocket sled, I guess they call it. Arctic Arrow. He had to wear a safety suit to be in it. 250 miles an hour in 3 seconds. He tried to get 300 miles an hour, but it crashed. G-force of 8, $500,000, 10,000 horsepower. All right. Experimental car there. 1960 Scorpion. Here's an interesting one. Here's the one with a guy who worked with Henry Ford, and only 70 of these were made. Came out in 1923. Snow Flyer. And then there's the one with these treads. Snowbird. A Ford Model A. Those treads. Their power was also reduced to half the 200 horsepower they produced at sea, passing through mountainous landscape dominated by Mount Huggins, and down to Scott Base, where the expedition arrived. And then here is the 1956 Tucker Snowcat. And they used it across Antarctica. It's crazy. Helping them understand more about the poles. And if you look here, it shows you they had that, like, back part to it carrying stuff. This is a Tucker Snowcat that took part in the first. That's how they had to dress up, because it's in Antarctica. Antarctica. It was part of the Commonwealth. And here's a goofy colored looking snow coupe, 1971. I guess that is 70-ish, because look at that color. They made funny colors for cars at that time and other vehicles. These and other questions could only be answered. And then whatever this is. On the ground. If he made the crossing, Fuchs and his team would become the third ever to reach the... One thing I want to note is, if you're here, you have to go between buildings. So if the weather's cold, make sure you dress up. A lot of things here that you have to cross over a short distance to get into. I'm going to be going into this building here. It's got the Ford versus Ferrari exhibit. Inside the Ford versus Ferrari exhibit from that movie that came out a while ago. Never saw it. Wasn't really that interested, but I admire the cars. We got these things here. Ford GT. And then you got this car here. Another Ford. Oh, it's like a station wagon. Oh, Country Squire. All right, I'm in another part of the museum, and they have this little part where you go to the Crime and Punishment sideshow. This is something outside of it. I don't know what this is. First, I thought it was an iron lung, but no, this guy looks like he's in pain or something. I don't know if it was pressurized or something like that. Looks pretty nasty. Yeah, here's the Crime and Punishment sideshow. We'll be going in there in a minute. Okay, I'm going into the sideshow here. Here is the Bonnie and Clyde car. This is a mock-up of it. I know they have a real one somewhere else. The real one. I think it's somewhere in Michigan. Here they got an old jail. You can see a mannequin in there. Go inside. A view of that. And basically this says prisons in the early 1800s were like this. John Dillinger car. Some stuff on John Dillinger. There's a broom handle Mauser, it looks like. It's actually the type of gun that they modified to use Han Solo's pistol in Star Wars. So you actually see that. It's what it is. Look again, you'll notice it's a modified broom handle Mauser. There, looks like another one with the attachment. $10 million reward for John Dillinger. Wow. Oh, sorry, 10,000, my bad. 10 million would have been astronomical back in 1935. $10,000, still a lot of money. Here's a old Sparky electric chair. I've heard that mentioned before. It's the man pulling it. And they put the mask over the face because the eyes, I guess, explode. That's what I've heard. Or bleed out. So that's why they put that on there. Here's a gas chamber. This would be a pretty bad way to go. I don't believe there is any more gas chamber executions anymore. Probably lethal injection got rid of it. This one's from 1917. Okay, now here is the part where it talks about torture. Some pretty nasty things. This thing's called the gibbet. I guess just showing an old jail cell. It doesn't really say much about it. Some painful things. Look at that thing with the thumbs there, crunching their thumbs. Oh, just imagine that. Or the hand. Terrible. Or punishing shoes. They have to stand on their tiptoes to not have it basically press into their feet. And here you got Quasimodo looking guy here for this chair here with all the spikes on it. You can see there, if you look closely, the spikes. And then here on the hands, they'll basically tighten it down and they'll go right through your hands. Pretty bad. Almost looks like a Hannibal Lecter mask. Oh, there's a morning star right there on the bottom. Something like it. And this one is pretty bad too. Look at that. Spikes that go into your eyes or near your eyes. Ugh, gouging out your eyes like that. That one's, look at that one too. Jeez. I guess the more they tighten it, the more it goes into your eyes. The Brank, also known as the Bride's Skull. Face cage. And here's the Brank on this guy right here. This is only a little room here at Volo, so this isn't like an entire museum just on this. It's just showing you a couple different things. It actually is an extra fee. It's $2 to get in, but that's not bad if you want to see cruel nature of the past, unfortunately. And here we got the Iron Maiden. The band got their name from it. See those spikes there going in there? Close it on you. I don't know if that would be enough to kill you right away or just keep opening it up and then having it go on you. The spikes were all over the place. And the legs, the ribs, face. I would think that would probably kill you almost within a few seconds, but I don't know. Chastity belt, more brake masks, or a brake mask. Yeah, breast belt, Scold's bridle. Punishment for women whose harsh chidings was a source of annoyance. Wow. God, people were terrible back then. Oh, this one's one of the worst, maybe the worst, where they put a rat in a cage with you and they said the rat chews through your eyes and everything. What a way to go. Made people think twice about some of this stuff. It's called the Judas chair. Yeah, pretty sadistic. Rat torture. Oh, it looks like they'd also put it on your chest and they would eat through your chest. Oh, God. Horrible. Her heretic's fork. Medieval handcuffs there. And then there's the transport collar. So I guess if you move much, it would pierce your neck. Wow. Head breaker. So they just tighten it, crushes your skull. People were so horrible back then. And here it talks about the rat torture. The victim was completely restrained and tied to the ground or any horizontal surface. The rat was then placed in the stomach covered by a metallic container. As the container was gradually heated, the rat began to look to burrow out, basically. Makes sense. That's why it was doing that. I'm showing you this picture because this actually has to do with kind of like the area where I grew up around. This is in Barrington, Illinois. I didn't grow up in Barrington, but I was maybe 10, 15 miles from it. Anyway, Babyface Nelson was shot here in Barrington. And I remember this from a movie called Dillinger from 1973. And Richard Dreyfuss actually played Babyface Nelson. So I'll never forget that. And of course, there's that other movie about John Dillinger with Johnny Depp, Public Enemies, which I thought Dillinger was actually better. And here it talks about the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, Chicago, where it is actually the building now is a parking lot. Right there. Lots of cool stuff in this little area here. In the second area where they have all the movie cars and TV cars, there's Kit from Knight Rider. Ah, and then here we got the DeLorean from Back to the Future. Huh. Who remembers that from Back to the Future 2? It's a flux capacitor. One of the best trilogies ever. Oh, Simpsons, huh? Ah, Dukes of Hazzard. General Lee. Here's some more other cars here that I guess, I don't know if they're on display or for sale. This one looks like it's just on display. This one's a 70 Plymouth Roadrunner, $88,000. Johnny Cash's crazy guitar car. I don't know if this thing actually ran, but Miami Vice. Animal House car. I don't know what model this is, but it doesn't say. Stick shift there. Batmobile. The original. Grease Lightning. 1946 Ford. Munster's car. Dragula. Eddie Munster's go-kart. I never watched the show very much, so I wouldn't really be able to be familiar with it. One of the best horror movies of all time. This is the Christine car. 1958 Plymouth Fury. Love to have a copy of this, but I don't know how many are still around. Jay Orberg made this. He actually, I've heard about this guy. He actually made the longest limo in the world at 100 feet. I believe it still is the longest. It was in the Guinness Book of World Records. So he made all these kind of like, you know, I guess weird cars, I guess. Some other cars. Elvis Presley's Sedan DeVille. Custom built Cadillac, okay. That's what it is, long car. Ah, here we go. The truckster. And there's Aunt Edna. One of the funniest comedies ever. And then the last one here, which is, oh, The Mask. I was going to say, I didn't recognize this at first. Something from The Mask. Here are some of the regular cars. Here's a Chevy Camaro Pro Touring, $136,000. Nice interior. Another Camaro. Nice color there. Oh wow, this one's old. 1933 Ford Custom, $72,000. $86,000 Plymouth Roadrunner. Notice I see a couple station wagons here. A relic of the past. Chevy Biscayne, 67. Oh, nice SS right here. 72 Chevy Chevelle. Okay, here's a Mach 1 Mustang. $90,000, 1970. Ah, look at this beauty. 56 Ford Sunliner convertible. Never heard of that. $73,000. '71 C10 Custom. Not familiar at all. What do we have here? Chevy Nova. Okay, $114,000. Pontiac. Tempest, 1964. Something to keep the kids entertained from Monsters, Inc. This is at the very end of the car area. And Finding Nemo. Alright, here is the lifeboat from the movie Captain Phillips. Pretty decent movie. Kind of slow at times, but pretty decent. They placed bullet holes in here, I guess, to make it more authentic. But that's what it looked like. That's what he was in. And here's one of those monster trucks. Remember, they always had those shows in the 80s and 90s. So this is the first monster truck built in 1975. Big Brute Boss Hog is the name. Old train here. I get to go inside this train. Inside here. Careful that trip. Look inside here. People sleep up there. You look up there, people sleep. That's where they slept. It's from 1895, it says. This is a caboose. Another bed to sleep in.
The railroads would try it out and find out that, yeah, this is pretty efficient, and we'll buy some of these.
Early 20th century locomotives easily dwarfed their predecessors.
Go down the stairs here. Right over here, we have, I think this is a camper coming up. Yeah, here we go. Pretty big camper. That's where people sleep. Very old TV. But yeah, I could see people going cross country with this. Wow, well, a lot of people in here couldn't all sleep at the same time, but still got a stove and everything. Very neat. Here's another view of that camper from the outside. Pastel-y colors. Anyway, we're going to go into another area here over here. Again, like I said earlier, a lot of these are buildings that you have to walk outside for a little bit. Going back in time here, seeing this part of Volo. All right, we're in here, and it's got a lot of covered wagons. 1840, huh? That must have been miserable going on there without taking any showers or anything like that. 1840s, wow. Again, people weren't used to the things we are right now anyway. But yeah, they set up all this stuff. They made all their food there. Wow. What a way to live. Here's another one we're going into. This will be for 1890. So 50 years later. Much better looking stagecoach. Yeah, I mean, still terrible, but by today's standards, but something that, you know, progressed with the years as it went along.
The stop was only long enough to eat some biscuits and beans, eat jerky and coffee. Stagecoaches did not gallop all of the way.
All right, here's another thing. It's a travel lodge. Where you park your car. Park your car here, and this is the place you go into. Oh, there's a Tommy gun right there. Thompson machine gun. So I guess he started to become popular in the 1920s when people could drive a lot more. But here is a view of what it looks like in front of it.
Complete with utilities like
We're in the RV museum.
create new semi-permanent communities across the country.
Look at this, 1932 covered wagon.
Has begun. And parks like this one in Hampton Beach,
This
New
was the
Hampshire,
Depression, but
opened in 1935.
still, some people could afford these.
By 1936, an
Here we
estimated
go.
300,000 Americans live in trailers. To some, that's a worrisome
Ford
trend.
house car.
1/2 of the population of the United States will
So
be
you can hear it
living in
talking
automobile
about
trailers within 20
what
years.
about I don't know what 300,000 people they said or
But
families living
struggling
in
Americans want their
trailers
trailers.
and not homes,
Really,
probably because of the
move and get
Depression.
away from it all.
Covered wagon here.
Money, an RV can be yours starting from $395.
Place to sleep, couch,
In
everything like
1931,
that.
Sherman sells 117. 5 years later, his company
Got
is
your little
producing
table outside
1,000 a month.
and
Each
master
is
built.
equipped with conveniences like a bathtub, stove, and even iceboxes.
Nice place to sit. And then I guess there's the bed.
Top-of-the-line models
Not
feature
very
a
big,
telephone intercom to
but
the chauffeur.
still, if that's what you had to do to live. Something I'm going to mention about this place is they have a lot of little places where you can put money in for things to play. This has nothing to do with the actual motorhomes, but you can do that all over the place here. So you might want to buy some coins to do that or have some extra cash to do it.
But some of that boom is spurred by insecurity. The Depression wipes out thousands of homeowners.
Here's more of them.
Commonplace.
You probably heard it talk about the Depression wiping out a lot of homeowners, so that's why these became popular, for better or for worse. See, this one's kind of different though. It has this area here where you can sleep. And you drive up there, so you keep going. And here you can cook. And then that's the other end, where I said there was the actual bed there. You got a table to eat and everything. Here's a camper car.
It provides a solution to those who can't afford a house. By 1936,
Wow.
the number of trailer camps in America
Such a different time.
15,000. Complete with utilities like electricity, they create new semi-permanent communities across the country.
Another one.
The era of the trailer park has begun. And parks like this
Oh, that's interesting. That kind of chair there. Looks like a deck chair for your actual chair. And then there's the place to eat. Can't see if there's any place to actually sleep. But look here. And there we go. It doesn't really show much.
The population of the United States will be living.
The only car here that you can actually sit in. Everybody should know what this is if they watched a cartoon or saw the 1994 movie. More little, I don't know what you call them, gadgets or something? Kitty rides, that's what they're called. Cat in the Hat. Yeah, this is where I was talking about earlier about actually bringing some extra coins, because you can have your kids, or some adults, I guess, if they want, go and play on these little kitty rides.
We're the Beagles, and we hope
There's a
everyone
very
had a
large
doggone
organ
great
we
time.
have here.
Enjoy the rest of your visit to the
I don't
fabulous
see
Volo
the
Auto
actual
Museum, and we'll
coin
see you
base
soon.
for it to put in the coin, but I believe you used to be able to play this. Here are more kitty rides. Barbie. Okay, next we're going to have stuff with pinball machines or other kinds of arcade machines. Remember, I tried playing one of these and it didn't work last time. Wow, I wonder when this game is from. Just look at that. The craftsmanship on that. Wish I knew. Seawolf. I've heard of this, never played it. Interesting to see what year that is from. And here we got a bunch of little cars for kids. The ones that they still make today in different ways, like Jeeps and BMWs. Okay, 1920 to 1950, that's when these were made. And now they have like the Jeeps and BMWs and stuff like that. There's little motor scooters. Wow. Used to make so much different stuff. Oh, look at this one. The only one known to exist, a 1941 SAFTA cycle. Huh. Oh, that'd be worth a lot if somebody tried selling it. Salisbury, 1945. Never heard of it. Whizzer, Columbia. Back when bicycles were well made. Here's some more of them. That's where we get the word Maybach from. Daimler and Maybach. High-speed internal combustion engines. Yeah, of course, this is when the first car was. So, and they used their gasoline engine on a bicycle. First true motorcycle, 1985. Of course, this is a mock-up, but still. Germany. There's a 1949 Indian. Wow, there's so much to see here if you can appreciate this stuff. Double cola. Probably popular in the neighborhoods before with the Bells. Good humor ice cream like that. Never had that in my neighborhood, but maybe it was more the cities. All right, Dr. Pepper. Bit of trivia here. Dr. Pepper is the oldest still in continuation brand name soft drink, 1885. I've been to the museum in Waco, Texas. It's very good. It's actually a lot to see there. And it's 1 year older than Coca-Cola. Outside again, here at a little lunch place. It's closed for the season though. Today happens to be October 31st, Halloween. And there are not a lot of people here. And it's too cold for people to sit outside. You can see there. I'm going to go over another area here. On the right here we see this jet. I'm not really sure what kind of jet it is. You'll see the sign there. There's also a place on the right that we're going to go to in a little bit. It has a carousel inside. I'm sure someone who knows military jets could tell you what this is in a second. Okay, we're going to go inside here. This is where they have some boats. Now, these are all fiberglass boats, and it says here that I guess they were only probably popular from 1956 to 1960. Anyways, this was a very prosperous time, the 1950s. People were able to buy a lot of stuff, and it was relatively cheap, at least compared to today with the inflation. And again, these have that kind of 50-ish color to them. You'll see this one right over here that has, again, that whatever color blue that is. I don't know, sky blue and white. So that was popular on cars too. You saw one earlier. And then there's this little interesting trailer boat. You can sleep in there and put extra stuff. All right. Now there is more in another building over here. Go out here. You'll see another Little building with a couple boats in it. Just around here. Can't go in there. For some reason that door was locked. Now there's this building right here. Very bright colors. Johnson Motors. Never heard of it. Probably not around anymore. Then again it says 1956 to 1960. When these short-lived, when these were popular. Must have been something for some of these people, because some of these people at this time had grown up during the Depression and now they were seeing all this excess. And good for them, they got to enjoy their life at this time. And here we go, pink and black. Very interesting colors. I don't think that would fly today. And then here we go. This is actually the first fiberglass boat, the Barracuda. I've heard of this one before. And if you look on this page, you'll see that they worked in conjunction with some of the American car companies to make this boat. Something you definitely don't see today. Here we'll go over here and we'll get a better view. Just look down on there. Plenty room for a family of probably 5 or 6. It would be fun to drive this too. This one I just noticed. I didn't see it earlier, but this was part of the Crime and Punishment sideshow from earlier. So I guess they had the brazen bull where you put somebody in and then they basically they fired it up and the person just basically probably got scalded to death. Alright, now I've seen these before in old videos at amusement parks. It's almost like a Ferris wheel, sort of, with a little cage where 2 people could sit. Here is like a steam engine, I believe. You can actually go up there and walk into it, I believe. Looks like get some antique tractors over here. Another one here. There's some John Deere stuff. Obviously, agriculture has always been important in the United States. And here are some of the things that they built. John Deere is still around. Lamborghini made one here. That's interesting. 1958. Another John Deere. Wow, look at this one, 1948. It seems pretty simple. Oh, always that green and yellow for John Deere. Model B. Umbrella wheels, they call them. McCormick. I believe that's probably the same McCormick that made the Thresher. International, probably International Harvester, is my guess. Ford made one here. In the 1920s, here's another Ford. Mustard colored one. Minnesota or Minneapolis Moline. Silver King. And another Ford.
Farmer had to stop at the end of a road, get down off the tractor, raise the plow.
Jet used in True Lies, most famously probably, and Avengers, I guess, but I always remember from True Lies. Here's a train they have outside here. West Horizon Railways. Never heard of it. Here you got a car from a train that was, I don't know if it was used, but it's based off the stuff in Wild Wild West, the movie, the 1999 flop of a movie. Kind of see in there, bathtub and everything. A pool table like in the movie. Be cool to have this if you're rich enough. It was saying on the sign it's supposed to be the sign of a millionaire. Here's a view of the other side of the train. You can see the pool table there again. Very luxurious. Wouldn't mind going cross country in this. Of course, with a couple modern amenities. Back to the days of Showbiz Pizza. Now, the last time I was here, these actually opened up and it had the actual animatronics working. But maybe not today. I didn't even know the names of any of these except for Billy Bob. But yeah, Showbiz Pizza actually bought Chuck E. Cheese, I think in the mid-'80s, and then Chuck E. Cheese actually kept their name and Showbiz name went away because Chuck E. Cheese had the bigger name. So, yeah, and I don't know who owns them now. I know Chuck E. Cheese is still around, but yeah, it's a relic of the past if you grew up in the 80s and 90s. Just outside the Carousel building. So I'm gonna check it out. I know you can pay for a ride, it's like $1. But this is another one of those places where you can actually put your money in and it'll play some of these old Wurlitzers. Like, look at this one right here. 1924. I don't know if they're having anything today where they can play the carousel, but I remember last time I was here, my relatives wanted to go on it. It's amazing what people used to make there back in the day. Yeah, you can put this piano, put some money in it, and it'll play for you. So will this. Fortunately, I don't have any tokens on me. $100,000 for one of these. I'll see if I can find my old video and put it on here, but I had it in slow motion last August, I believe it was. Yeah, looks like some of these don't even work anymore, but that's not a surprise how old they are. One of the punching bags. So, I guess it would actually say how powerful a punch you had. Wow, this looks old. 1921. Cool stuff. Looks like somebody's fixing something over on that one there. Anyway, this part's worth checking out, especially if you want to go on the old carousel. Definitely worth checking out. Alright, so I guess this is actually used for the train for the movie Unstoppable. I never saw it. I remember it coming out, but I never saw it. But I guess it says this is the screen used for the movie Train, or for the train in the movie. Here's the same part for the movie Unstoppable from the inside. at the Titanic part of this museum. Now this is a little extra to do, but you can get it as part of your tour, or you could not do it. But yeah, this is a great place to take pictures. Remember last time I was here, the boat was actually over here instead of this car, so they moved it. Now the boat's over there. There should be some oars in there. Last time you were able to actually get in the boat, I believe. Yeah, because they had the oars and we were picking them up. Going into the museum right now for the Titanic. Inside the Titanic Museum. There's like nobody here right now. I know it's Halloween, but still I was expecting some more people here. There's that melancholy song from the movie. Oh. Talks here about the, I guess this is a Rolls Royce. John Astor owned it. And John Astor is the person who Astoria is named after. And Astoria was in the movie Goonies. That's where the house is. And Kindergarten Cop and Free Willy and Short Circuit. Anyway, off topic, but if you ever see the place Astoria, that is where it got its name from. And it was supposed to be the new San Francisco, but never caught on. Anyway, if you look here, you'll see you can climb up these and you can kind of see what it's like while the boat's going down, how hard it is to hold onto the railing. I tried this one time. It is, especially the last one there. The one that's 45-degree slope. Yeah. Only imagine that. I don't remember, but I think last time they didn't have the chains here to block you. It's kind of nice actually being in here alone without anybody. You have to worry about anybody like bumping into them. And I think, yeah, that's where the water broke for Captain Smith when he died. (1912) Delaney Belleville? This one's a Renault, I think you pronounce it. This isn't a very big, actually, like display, but, or exhibit rather, but it's still got some nice things in here. If you go over here, there's actually a theater. So, okay, I guess a 9-minute Titanic movie. So there it is if you want to walk it. Definitely worth it to try here. So you pay a little extra to go in here. I would think it's definitely worth it. Here is the lunch area if you want to eat here. Like I said, they got pretty good pizza here.
What? Don't do this whole thing? We have? This thing tomorrow. Don't spill.
I've been here 5 times now. I actually didn't notice that there was this other entrance here. I don't know if this is new, but I don't remember it being this way. But anyway, this is another way you can walk in. I still have a few things to do here. I have to go to the car place where they're actually selling the cars. And then there is the antique shop, which I believe has 7 buildings. If you're going down Route 12 in Illinois, you'll probably see this along there. Basically, they have an area where you can take a trolley. You can go around and check all these things out. I missed the trolley, so I can't go, but it's definitely something worth trying. Check out. Drives past all this stuff. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the real size of one of the propellers on the Titanic. Obviously, it's not made of the real metal. Looks like it's made out of fiberglass or something. But anyway, I thought it'd be interesting if this was the size of one of the propellers. Wondering what car this is up here. Doesn't look like the Plymouth Fury, but I believe it's a Plymouth. Okay, going into the showroom. You can't just walk in here though, you have to actually have a wristband, so you actually have to buy an admission. 1959 Austin Healey. Ooh, there's a Packard. Ford Mustang, 1970. And Jurassic Park car over there. Now all these cars are for sale, unlike in the other place where some are for sale and some aren't. Firebird, 1968. Custom hot rod. I didn't know they made hot rods that early. $100,000 for a Plymouth Roadrunner. Huh. Ooh, a 74 Corvette. GTO Judge. Ooh, 57 Chevy 210. El Camino. One of the ugliest cars ever, a Plymouth Prowler. Ooh. 97 Lamborghini. '89 Countach Lamborghini. 84 Jeep. This was Trump's limousine, a Cadillac. General Lee. Ford Victoria. I wonder if that later became a Crown Victoria. What is this? Never heard of that movie. Locked. That's the car. Dolus. And then here you got the Shaggy Mobile. Scooby-Doo. Princess Diana's cars too. Rolls Royce. Ford Galaxy. Oh wow, it's from Total Recall. Obviously never really made. 2084 Chrysler 3000. Sure, by 2084 cars are going to be much different. Wonder if the Johnny Cab was supposed to be one of these too. Hyundai 1957 Chrysler New Yorker, 130 grand. Wow, what a car. I think that wraps it up for this museum. It's a great place to visit and you can spend a good 3 hours here. not part of the actual museum, and you can come here and actually walk in without any paying. But here is the antique museum. Check it out, it's big. Lots of toys in here. Let's go up the stairs. Thing about this place is the floor is always very creaky. Anyway, this gives you a general idea of what is here. There's some Hot Wheels if you like that. Plenty of stuff here. Remember, I actually got some Funko Pops from here. Lots and lots of antiques. That's the floor that's creaking. Okay, you actually leave that building. It was actually the exit was actually right by where I first came up, but you go down to the other buildings. These other buildings really aren't that great. I think the one we were just in was better, but I just wanted to give you a quick little view of what it's like. Might be some stuff you want. Remember, one of my friends bought a glass here. They gave out McDonald's in the 1980s. Didn't buy it in the 1980s, but it was from the 1980s. Antique Malls 1 and 2. And there's some Funkos. I'm not getting any today though. More of them. Defender. Anyway, this is what it's kind of like. Just row after row of stuff like this. Here's another part of that antique area where I found it interesting because it has a bunch of old games. Nintendo 64. Wow, look at Sega Genesis. Now this is really interesting. Look at all this stuff. It goes all the way back to Atari. And there's PlayStation. Looks like the first PlayStation. Sega Master System right there. And then of course some of the newer stuff. Anyway, last time I was here I just remember seeing these and finding them interesting to look at. And they got a few more here. Atari 7800. That was the last version. Kung Fu Master. Always played that at the arcade. There's a better look at everything. Here's the last part I'm actually going to go into, because after this you can walk up some stairs and stuff, and it's just a bunch of stuff that doesn't interest me. But yeah, this is what it's kind of like for the next 3 buildings or whatever it's like. Anyway, if you're into antiques, check this out. This part is free. You can just walk in. The rest of the antique stores go all the way down to there, to that two-story building. It's kind of like an old barn. But anyway, this is where I was walking through earlier, walking down. But yeah, I really enjoyed being here today. And I suggest, or recommend, if you want to come here and you're on the area, Chicago area, to come here, because there's a lot to see. Probably the best auto museum I've ever been to because of all the other stuff it has.